So I am doing December Daily again this year. If you don't know what December Daily is, it's when you journal every day for the month of December. Last year I did it up to the 25th, up till Christmas, but this year I want to do it for the whole month of December. So when I did this challenge last year, I learned two very important things. One was that not every page is going to look amazing, but by journaling every day for 25 days straight, I felt more confident in my style and aesthetics of collaging. I also learned that journaling every day is definitely a test of tenacity and willpower. It was definitely hard going to my desk every night and sometimes waking up early to get it done because I knew that I had work later that day. But after the 25 days was over, I felt so proud of myself for sticking to a promise that I made. There are some things that I want to do differently this year that I'll share with you in a little bit, but the things that I want to do again that worked for me last year were definitely using a smaller journal. My journal last year was 4 by 6 inches, I believe. It was a very small journal. And the journal that I'm making today is also going to be about that size. Having a smaller canvas made tackling a journal page every day a lot more manageable, and it made it really easy to fill the journal. Also last year, I had all the materials that I wanted to use set up into a kit-like situation. You guys know that I always preach making a journal kit whenever you're tackling a project or when you want to get into the rhythm of journaling kind of regularly. It makes approaching the page a lot easier when you don't have to sift through all of your materials to figure out what's going to work and what's not. So definitely this year I'm going to make a kit again. But what's going to be super different this year than last year is that I'm going to use prompts. Last year I just kind of opened up my book and did whatever felt right in the moment and wrote a little blurb about the day or some quote or whatever came to my mind. And while that was kind of cool in the moment to just get out what I was feeling, when I look back on the journal, it doesn't really tell me a lot about the experience. I don't know. I'm still trying to figure it out. The book doesn't feel very cohesive. It does in that I use similar materials, but for, I guess, a narrative standpoint, it was kind of all over the place. So this year I am going to create prompts, which I will be sharing in next week's video. And also we started a Facebook group. So if you want to join that, the link to our Facebook group will be in the description below. But I'm gonna upload and reveal the prompts that I'll be using this December there first. If not, just wait until next Sunday. Oh, and this year I'm definitely going to lean more into the Christmas aesthetic. Like I mentioned before, my collages were kind of relegated to whatever sticker book and other materials that I picked out for my journaling kit, which didn't really look too different from the materials that I use in my regular journaling. But I kind of splurged at Michael's a week or two ago because they were having like a 60% sale. And I got a whole bunch of Christmas themed things. So I'm excited for that as well. So now that brings us to what this video is about today. I am going to show you how I put together and decorated the signatures for my book. We're starting off with creating the signatures. I've been craving white pages lately, so I chose this beautiful smooth drawing paper from Handbook Paper Company. I suppose it's more cream than white. Then I folded it into fours and tore it with a ruler for a soft deckled edge look. I wanted each signature to represent a week in my book, so I have 5 signatures with 4 sheets of paper. I'll end up with some extra pages at the end, but I figure I'll figure something out to do with them later. For each signature, I'm going to pre-decorate the outside page. This will aid in making a distinction between each week. And when I say week, I mean 7 days, not Sunday through Saturday. My vision for each title page of my signatures was to make a label card with the dates and make a secret card that would slide in and out from behind it. If that description is confusing, keep watching to see what I'm talking about. I'm starting off by playing with different format options of my dates. Once I've decided on the format of my date, I cut it into a square and set it to the side. Next, I'm going to use a slightly larger square as a background. Before I glue the date square onto the background, I'm going to cut off the top of the background piece. This little tab I cut will serve as a pull tab for my secret hidden card. Although I do own a sewing machine, I wanted to try my hand at slow hand stitching. I drew a square around the date card and poked guiding holes before I started stitching. You'll see that I switched up the sewing patterns in the later title pages, and I think I prefer the others better. That's one of the awesome things about experimenting with your materials. You'll come across ideas that you can try again and refine for future projects and journal entries. Once I finished sewing, I glued my background piece onto the patterned paper. Then I cut a slit in the open part, which is where my hidden card will slide in and out. Make sure to add a piece of paper that's wider than the slit to the bottom of your hidden card. This will prevent the card from sliding all the way out. Once I confirmed that the card would fit properly, I added the top piece that I cut from my background. I haven't 100% decided what I'll write on these hidden cards. I'm leaning towards writing the prompts for that week on them. So come back next Sunday to see the process of actually binding these signatures together. I chose to do a concertina style, which is really different and I've never done it before. I saw it on Danny Barbara's Instagram and a light bulb went off and I was like, oh yeah, I'm definitely gonna try this for this book project. Don't forget to join the Facebook group. I wanna see pictures of your December daily junk journals that you're going to be working in this year or where you are in the process. On the group, I shared my Pinterest board of what is going to kind of inspire the aesthetics of the book. With that being said, I will see you in the next video and maybe even in our Facebook group. I hope you have a good week. Bye.